'em up, let's start the show. We're digging in with Tripp. 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 We're digging in with Tripp today, yeah.
Well, for those watching on YouTube, I wanted to introduce this extremely special episode in front of the Raleigh Police Memorial here in downtown Raleigh, because my dear friend Zach Werenski from my hometown, his father, dear friend of mine, the great Ken Werenski, longtime police officer in Grosse Pointe Shores, now the police chief in Grosse Pointe Shores. He and Zach's mom, Kristen, salt to the earth, pure Michiganders. It's with tremendous pride that I have witnessed what Zach has accomplished in the NHL, and more importantly, infinitely more importantly, the friend that he is, and the friends that his entire family are to me. So we're going to dig in with the star defenseman in just a second, and we're able to do so thanks to our presenting sponsor, Voodoo Ranger. Oh yeah, Voodoo Ranger. Oh, they love to live rangerously. You want to talk about an IPA that's bold, occasionally hazy? That sounds like the effects after a night of digging in. And if you want to have an IPA and still manage a six-pack, just 99.9 calories. Oh, former dig-in guest, the great one himself, would be impressed with those minimal calories. Voodoo Ranger, very, very thrilled to be in partnership with them here on Digging In. Also, my dear friends at Dita Eyewear. I'm wearing the glasses, whether it be their sunglasses, whether it be their eyewear. I am privileged to be a social influencer, in my view, for the finest eyewear manufacturer on planet Earth, Dita.com. Remind you, as we always do, to rate and review the show on all audio platforms as well as YouTube. And please continue to check out our ever-expanding merchandise line at digintrip.com. Without further review, let's go to my home. Well, we'll tape it in Columbus, but my hometown compadre, Zach Werenski. This is as special of an episode as I've done, because Zach, you're a fellow Grosse Pointer in pure Michigan. But because I admire you and who you are as a person. So I'm coming right out of the gate and asking you, hockey, life, whatever. What do you think of when you think of digging in?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think whenever I hear the word, no matter who says it, I always think of you. Maybe your hats or just seeing you on social media, I always talk about it. But in terms of the term dig in, I think it's just the hard work, the grind, making sure every day you're preparing your best, doing your best to be ready to go no matter what you're doing, whether it's sports or something else. I think just digging in it's a mindset.
As we unfold here, I want to get into your family, because I've had the great privilege to get to know your family and friends really well in our hometown. But I want to start, since we're taping this here in Columbus. You guys had another big win as we taped this. You're 3-1. Tell me about your team. You're off to a good start.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think we made a lot of moves this offseason, traded some guys, got rid of some older guys, some leaders, free agents or whatnot. Made some good trades, and we're a young team. I think we're one of the youngest in the league. Fast team, we can skate. New coaches, new locker room. It's kind of a fresh slate for us in Columbus here, and it's been a lot of fun so far. And I think guys are coming to the rink with a new attitude and kind of a new energy this season, and it's been a lot of fun so far this first little bit, and hopefully we can keep going.
Tell me about the new locker room. I hear it's sweet.
Yeah, it's really nice. They did a really good job on it. I think they only finished half of it. I think next summer they're going to do like the weight room and kitchen and stuff like that. But yeah, ownership and whoever decided to design it like that did an awesome job. It's got to be one of the best in the league now. It's really cool.
And you use the same locker room for your practices and for games, which is a tremendous advantage. it's only halfway done, but what's the
Mhm.
best part so far?
I think the best part's probably post game. They redid like the hot tub and cold tubs and sauna area with some TVs, put speakers in the ceiling so you get the music going after a big win. We've had some fun doing that so far. So I think so far that's the best part, but I'm sure as the locker room gets finished, there'll be other things that that I enjoy.
What would be your go-to song in the hot tub after, say, a big win over the Islanders last night?
Go-to song in the hot tub? Last night we didn't play anything because my buddy Mark in town, so I got out of there pretty quick. But
Wonderful man, Mark,
um,
former Penn State Nittany Lion.
yeah, but usually some throwback music, some 80s music, or maybe even some new Drake or something like that. It's kind of what we're bumping in the locker room.
I'd like to see you play a little pure Michigan Bob Seger. That's just for the record.
We'll do that tomorrow if we win.
Brad Larson, new coach. Rod Brindamore, former dig-in guest, told me recently I was at his house, had some very complimentary things to say. Tell me about him as a coach.
Yeah, he's been awesome so far. Obviously, I've known him for a while. He's been our assistant coach for my first 5 years, and now him being the head coach. He's been great. I think there's always a transition period when your assistant coach goes to head coach because you kind of have a different relationship with your head coach.
Yes.
So I think guys were, I don't want to use the word worried about what that would be like, but definitely wanted to see what he'd be like in camp and throughout preseason and games. And it seems like every guy I've talked to on the team's really enjoyed playing for him so far. I've really enjoyed it personally, and I think he has our team moving in the right direction. So he's been awesome, and I think he's a guy, I'm sure similar to Brindamore, that leads by example. How he approaches, how he gets to the rink. We always go in the gym early, and he's in there running his 15 miles or whatever on the treadmill and putting the work in. So I think as players, if you see your coach doing that, it makes you want to do it even more. And so yeah, he's been awesome for us.
I'd be in the hot tub when you're in the gym. Zach, when you think about what is uniquely and most special about being a Columbus Blue Jacket, what comes to mind?
I guess the one thing that stands out to me is, I guess, realizing how good players have it here. I think a lot of people I talk to, guys that leave or guys that come here at an older age or whatever, I think Columbus doesn't really get talked about enough for how good of a city it is for hockey players. And I think a lot of older players that come here towards the end of their careers really enjoy it. I think for me as a young guy, I've really enjoyed it. I think playing in front of these fans, it's a newer franchise. It's been 21 years now, so it's not crazy history or anything like that. But I think just how passionate the fan base is, how easy the way of life is here, how nice the city is, good food, good restaurants, good places to go out. I think it has everything you want. So yeah, I think just being fortunate to kind of realize how good we have it here at a young age and be here for a long time. It's been awesome.
Not to go off on a tangent for more than one question, but you're a bit of a foodie.
A little bit. I mean, I'm a picky eater, but I like what I like.
So what do you like?
Pasta, steak, chicken. Pretty simple. I don't eat seafood, but I definitely know my restaurants here in Columbus that I really like, and I seem to go to those ones pretty regularly and kind of cycle through them.
The president of the Columbus Blue Jackets, when I first started commentating, he was the color analyst for the New York Rangers, John Davidson. I told him right at the top of the mountain, the greatest color analyst in the history of the game. He's in the Hall of Fame. I know that you have a special relationship with John. Your mom and dad have told me. Talk to me about John Davidson.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think when I was younger and he was here, being a younger guy, you're kind of not nervous, but you don't really want to get too comfortable with anybody, especially in management. You're kind of just trying to focus on hockey and playing good and making a team and helping the team in whatever way you can. And now the older I've gotten, and I'm only 24, but I feel like it's been 6 years for me now. And having JD back this year, I think just with talking to him, hearing stories he has to share, and just experiences he's gone through, I think it's awesome for a guy like me to hear those stories and kind of get to know him on that level. He's awesome to have around the room. He obviously knows what he's talking about. He's been around the game for I don't know how many years, but a long time. So yeah, no, we're excited to have him back, and I think my relationship with him this year is only it's gotten better. And like I said, I always like picking his brain and hearing stories he has to say because he's seen some stuff and been around for a long time. So it's been cool.
He has the definition of charisma.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the bottom line. He's moved on, but I did have a chance to speak to your longtime head coach, John Tortorella, this morning, who, suffice to say, loves you. What will you remember most about John Tortorella?
There's a lot I'll remember about Torts. I don't think I could have played for a better coach to start my career. Just in terms of what he expects out of his players, what he demands out of you every single day. Doesn't matter how many minutes you're playing or where you are on the depth chart. If you're going, he's going to play you. And I think as players, you respect that. There was nights I wasn't going and I wasn't playing much, and there was nights I was playing really well and he kept throwing me over the boards. And as a player and as a team, he holds you guys accountable, and that's what you want. And he demands a lot out of you. And I think the one thing for me is he always challenged me to be better, no matter how good I was playing or how bad I was playing. It's it was never good enough with him. And I think as a young guy, I embraced that and I took that as a challenge. And I think when he challenges you like that, I think it's a compliment to you, and it's because he likes you. And like I said, I don't think I could have played for a better coach to start my career.
And people in the media, I think it's a false narrative. They see this false exterior, this rough exterior of John Tortorella. He is an incredibly caring human being, isn't he?
Yeah, I think if you talk to guys that have played for him, that narrative kind of drives us crazy. Hearing the bad rep he gets from certain people or certain fans or media members or whatever. But I think that's something that as players you can kind of learn from Torts is he doesn't care what people say. He doesn't care what people think about him. He's going to be who he is. He's going to demand a lot out of his players and push you to be the best player you can be. But definitely one of the most caring people, one of the most down-to-earth guys. I think that's something I learned over the years is loves family, loves animals, loves everything away from hockey. I think just at the rink he's demanding, and what more could you want in a coach?
Well, if he's Ace Ventura 1, you're Ace Ventura 2 because of your love for animals. Where did that come from?
Kind of just came out of nowhere, to be honest. COVID hit, and then decided to order a dog online, as weird as that sounds. I just picked one out online, and it got delivered to my door, and had no idea about dogs. My family never had one before, and now he's my best friend, so huge dog guy now.
Is this Bo? Because your mom, Kristen,
yeah,
she told me, Tripp, you have to ask Zach about Bo.
Yeah, it's Bo. He's the best. I'm sad he's not here right now to make an appearance in this podcast, but yeah, no, he's awesome. Kind of happened in a crazy way. Like I said, I just ordered him and showed up and had no idea what to do with a dog, but learned as I went. And I think just that unconditional love dogs give. Whether you have a bad game or a bad day, second you open the door, the dog's just as happy to see you. So it's probably the best thing I ever did was getting a dog.
Unconditional love. Well, we all strive for that. Let's get to your mom, who I had the pleasure to, before I really got to know you, I was on a boat in Pure, Michigan with your mom and your dad. I'm privileged to know them and count them as close friends. Tell me about your mom and dad.
Yeah, obviously the main reason why I'm in the position I am right now, my mom's a lot of fun, as you probably know from that boat.
I do,
yeah. She's a lot of fun and kind of the life of the party. I don't really have that personality. That's more my brother. He kind of got that side. But they're awesome. Yeah, they're very supporting. Two great parents. Was very fortunate to have them, or still have them, growing up and, taking me to the rink and practices and late nights, early mornings. They were doing everything. And, a big reason why I'm here today, like I said. So yeah, I know they're extremely close with them, and I always love when they come visit or I get to spend time with them. So it's, and them, they're awesome people.
Oh, I love them. And she's the life of the party, but she's tough. She's tough. And we'll expound upon that. Your dad can. He's the chief of police, was a cop. Tell me about your dad.
Yeah, I think for me and my brother growing up with, a dad like that, we're very fortunate. Kind of lead the way, and just a great person for us to look up to. Obviously, all the stuff he does as a dad, but all the stuff he does with work and, detail oriented and working hard and never making excuses for anything. I think, the way he raised us was a big reason why my brother and myself have had success, and we owe a lot of it to him. And so yeah, no, I'm very fortunate to have the parents I've had and love them very much.
I love him too. You mentioned your brother a couple of times. The great Brad Werenski,
Yeah,
former
Brad.
Western Michigan Bronco as a hockey player. He's a couple years older. In a lot of ways, your dear friend Mark Yannis, visiting from the Detroit area.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling him before you showed up, I said, Zach's personality reminds me so much of Sebastian Aho. And, he had a sibling rivalry. They used to play hardcore hockey games in the driveway in Finland with his brother. And they would go at each other, fight, and then they'd have hot cocoa after. Sebastian said, I'm digging in. Talk about you and Brad.
Yeah, we had similar kind of experiences. When we were younger, especially, we'd play mini sticks or mini hockey, like in the basement. We'd always fight. I kind of had the anger problem when I was younger, and he would just laugh at me and just pissed me off even more. But over the years, we, grew extremely close. We're close in age, and he lived with me here in Columbus for a while, and still extremely close. All summer I see him every day. We golf together, hang out together. Everything kind of we do together, and it's been a lot of fun. And I think Brad's everyone's favorite Werenski brother, unfortunately, but it seems like everyone I talk to, it's always talking about Brad and his personality and how funny he is. But yeah, no, he's awesome.
My assessment, and I'm not trying to take the Switzerland easy route here. I enjoy you both, to be honest with you. Your mom said, now I can't remember anything. Maybe it's the lifestyle. But I can't remember anything, I think, Zach, earlier than like 6, 7 years old. Your mom told me you never crawled. You were a tank. That's what she said. And all of a sudden, boom, you're walking. No, I can't assume you remember those days.
No, I don't. But from everything I remember them telling me, I think I just laid there till I was like 1, maybe even older than 1. I just wouldn't crawl. I was huge. And then randomly one day I started walking. So yeah, it's pretty funny, but I was always the big kid growing up, and then everything eventually levels itself out. But I think when I was young, I was a big boy.
Your mom also told me, this is classic. She said you asked her to play golf around 7 years old, and you said to her, hey, Mom, we have to learn the game because I'm going to be a pro hockey player, and all hockey players play golf. Is this legit?
Yeah, she tells me that. She tells me that happened. I don't remember it, but it's a story she always brings up about golf. Or whenever I go golfing, she'll always say, do you remember that? And I'm like, no, but it must be true if you're saying it. So yeah, it's I guess that's how I started golf.
How'd you get started in hockey?
My brother, he's 20 months older, so almost 2 years. Took him to skating lessons and he hated it, and then it took me not too long after, and I was loving it, and then my brother wanted to try again, so they put him back out there, and he started liking it. And then at his age, it was time to play like mites or whatever, mini mites or whatever it's called. And so my dad put him out there, and then the team needed a defenseman, so kind of just threw me out there with the team, and played with him up until like 12. So I was playing up a few years with my brother. And then from there, kind of just took off. So, no, like, my dad never played. My mom didn't know much about hockey. I think my dad said he saw an ad in the paper, like, learn to skate. It was like $50 or something. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, let's go try it. And then now here we are. So, kind of crazy how that works.
Self-interested question here, partner. A mutual friend, Dougie Ram. Did he coach you? I mean, Dougie Ram is just a sensational human being. He digs in.
Yeah, he does.
What do you remember about Dougie?
As a coach or as a person?
Both.
I don't remember much as a coach. I was pretty young.
He had a great quaff behind the bench.
Yeah, he did.
Still does.
But obviously as a person, just I think how just selfless he is. That whole family, they're awesome people. I'm extremely close with them. My parents are close with them. So yeah, no, I was very fortunate to grow up with them and get to know them over the years, and all the help just throughout the years with hockey, and just getting to know them, going up north to their house on Walloon, and just all the experiences they've been awesome. So very fortunate to have grown up with them and get to know them.
Yeah, Doug and his wife Margaret Ram.
Yeah.
Zach, for all the Dig In viewers and listeners, you played on some unbelievable AAA teams in Detroit, Bell Tire. Maybe just touch upon the young age, the future NHLers.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I guess we didn't know, but looking back on it now, it's pretty crazy. Dylan Larkin, Kyle Connor, Alex Nedeljkovic, Brendan Perlini. We had a few other guys go to the OHL, USHL, college. Yeah, we were pretty stacked. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, we kind of all merged at the same time. We were all looking for different places to play, and not really knowing what team we had in front of us or kind of how it was going to work out for all of us. And here we are, all having successful careers in the NHL and playing against each other. And it's been a ton of fun to watch their careers and cheer them on. And like I said, who would have known at the time when we were that young where we'd be now? But it was pretty impressive, the teams we had back in the day.
Ned, one of those teammates, and I love Ned.
Mm-hmm.
Ned told me this morning, he said, ask Zach about his effortless ease in the way that he skates. He said that when you were teammates, you did that.
Mm-hmm.
You still do it. I admire it as an analyst when I call your games. Can you mentioned skating lessons when you first got going. Can you point to anything that helped to drive? Because you hate talking about yourself because you really have achieved humility. But where that skating ability, the ease comes from?
Yeah, when we all moved over to Bell Tire, Doug Brown was our coach. Played for the Red Wings, won a few Stanley Cups.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, great career. And his son Christopher played with us, and we were all on the same team. And he was our coach, and he was a great skater when he played. So he was kind of our skating coach. The long stride, the arms, like the powerful stride, and you don't have to really move your legs too fast, but more so powerful. And it's kind of where I learned to skate, and kind of just been skating like that ever since. And then the older I got, I started working with Brendan Perlini's parents. Yep. They're skating instructors in Michigan and Sault Ste. Marie. They're kind of bounce around, and they're awesome at what they do. And so yeah, I've worked with Doug Brown and the Perlinis, and it's kind of where I learned how to skate. So,
do you know that actually, just quick side note, former Dig In guest, the greatest Scotty Bowman, because he called Doug Brownoff because of his chemistry with all the Russians on those great Red Wing teams.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I had the tremendous pleasure. I was between the benches, and Patrick Brown scores his first NHL goal, shelf on Henrik Lundqvist. And he comes off the ice, and he's right to my left. And it was one of the greatest smiles that I've ever seen. You know, he played at Cranbrook, and he played at Boston College. You make me think about that. Larksey. Oh, Larksey's dug in. Now, last year, and no fans, but you and Dylan are tremendous friends. How does that go in the National Hockey League? You guys dropped him at one point in Detroit, didn't you?
Yeah, we fought. I think it was like game 3 of the season. I was kind of playing like shit to start the year. Sorry for my language.
No problem. We're digging in.
I was having a tough start to the year. We had 2 games in Nashville. I got killed in both of them. Really wasn't playing good. And then we went to Detroit, game 3, and we were winning the game 3-1. It's a shot on net, and kind of cross-checked Bobby Ryan because he was whacking at our goalie. Scrum starts, puck goes in, and then I'm kind of by the net, and Larks tries going for one of our teammates, and I'm kind of holding him back. And as a joke, I just kind of asked him, I was like, "You wanna fight? Like, you wanna go?" And he's like, "Fuck it, let's just fight." and throws his gloves down. And if you watch the video, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, like, but I was trying to win the fight. I mean, it's one of my best friends, but I didn't want to lose to him. So funny how that all worked out.
And had you gotten, I think Detroit had limited fans at that point in time.
Yeah.
Were there some tickets involved?
Yeah, I think he was at the game.
Oh, the great Mark Annis.
Yeah, Mark was at the game. My dad was there. A few other people I think were there. Maybe like 8 people there. Large kind of helped me get tickets for, because visiting teams didn't get tickets at the time. So left me all those tickets, and then we fought right in front of them. Actually, they were like right there. So it's funny how it all works out.
Who won the fight?
It was even. I don't know. I don't really think I got him too much, and he didn't get me. So might have to fight again to see who's a winner.
You guys did just play him the other night. Zach, tell me, I have to ask you this question because of the close nature of our friendship. I get sick and tired. You know what? I'm going to swear for the first time in the history of this show. I get sick and fucking tired because who are the idiots that ever talk about a team is in a rebuild? I like the Blue Jacket team. You're a core piece.
Mm-hmm.
You've started 3-1. Does that tick you off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what people say. I've kind of always been that way. I mean, people are going to talk and write teams off and write players off and have their own opinions. I think half the people that do it don't even know anything about hockey, never played hockey. So I think for them to say it, it's not worth my time to kind of think about it or whatever. But, in terms of hockey and rebuilds, I don't really think they're a thing. It's my opinion on it. I think obviously you can trade people at the deadline and get picks and whatnot, but there's so many good players nowadays. I think on any given night, any team can win. And for us here in Columbus, yeah, we're a young team. Yeah, we have a lot of new guys, new coaching staff and whatnot, and we have new personnel. But I don't know why we can't go out there every single night and try and win a hockey game. Are we going to make the playoffs? I don't know. We're going to win the Stanley Cup? I don't know. But I don't like the word rebuild, especially when it comes to hockey, because it's not like one guy can win you a game. It's a team game, and I think if a team buys in, there's no reason they can't win on that night. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But,
I totally agree. I was telling you, Mark and I were nestling in before, when you were finishing practice. I was in Montreal last night. The Hurricanes are 3-0. They easily could be 0-3. It's a fine line in this league. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I look at a team like Buffalo too. They're 3-0. Colorado's 1-3. I know it's early in the years, and I'm not saying that's what the standings are going to finish as, but you never know in hockey, right? I think that's the best part of the game is, I think in a series, the best team always wins, but when it comes to regular season, the best team that night doesn't always win the game, and that's what's so exciting about it. So, I truly believe every night, why can't we go win the hockey game? And we're not going to win every game, but that's how you have to approach each game, and you have to have that mentality, otherwise you're just going to lose.
Last I checked, that's digging in. Now, your mom, my dear friend Kristen, and this, I thought, was the definition of your shovel. Okay, so I'm watching in the bubble. Best of 5. You have a chance to close out the Toronto Maple Leafs. What are you up? I think you're up 3 goals, and I see you go to the room. And I texted your mom, and I just said, I hope Zach's okay. And she comes back, and you can trust me. I was going to keep it in the vault. I can say it now. She goes, oh, he's got a knee situation. And I'm like, oh, no. All right, so the Leafs come back and win the game in overtime. And I think, was it maybe there was a day between, I can't remember. But you come out, and in my view, hands down, not only were you the best player in that series, but you were the best player in Game 5 to beat Toronto. You dug in. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, well, when I got hurt in the game, it was Game 4. We had to, if we won, we would have moved on to the next round, and I think we were up like 3-0 or something like that. And I was talking with the trainers, and we're like, yeah, let's just take the third off and get you ready for the next series. Yeah. So I take my equipment off, and I sit down, and the game's already started, and it's getting later in the game. It's 3-1, and it's 3-2, and then it's 3-3, and I'm like, what just happened, you know?
Yeah.
And that's going to overtime, and I'm asking the trainers, well, can I put my stuff back on? Like, I mean, I'm still warm. Like, I can just go back out there. They're like, no. Like, if we end up losing, just play your next game. So I end up losing the game, and then, I go back out there game 5, end up winning, which was an awesome game. Team played well, and then long series with Tampa. So, yeah, no, it was kind of crazy how that happened, because when I took my stuff off, I was convinced we were going to win the game. You know, otherwise I probably would have hung on the bench just in case, but up 3-0 going into the third. I guess you never know with Toronto or playoffs or hockey in general what's going to happen.
Well, I remember Carolina, because we were calling the game off the monitor in Raleigh, and we were waiting for game 1 against Boston when you had all those overtimes. Then when you advanced against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself, Zach, on having a memory like an elephant. Your favorite player, I saw Nick Lidstrom in the booth when you played Detroit the other night, but Datsuk was your guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, my favorite defenseman was Lidstrom. My favorite player was Datsuk growing up.
Why?
I don't know. I was always just like fascinated by the stuff he could do on the ice. I wore his number 13 growing up because of him, and then wore that all the way up until Michigan. And then when I got to Columbus, Cam Atkinson had 13, so I went with 8. But yeah, I just think the stuff he could do on the ice, the magician they called him.
Oh yeah.
Very fortunate to grow up in Detroit around that era of hockey with Lidstrom and Datsuk and Zetterberg and all these great players. So yeah, I know I had a lot of guys I could look up and kind of try and model my game after, role models, I guess.
One of the greatest first rounds drafts in NHL history in 2015. Getting my times right now. So your rookie year, you hit the ground running in the NHL. Did you played against Datsuk and Lidstrom, or just Datsuk?
No, I never played against either. No, Datsuk was the year before. It was his last year. And then I wanted to go to World Championships at the end of our season, and Datsuk was there, and USA played Russia, but it's the year I took the puck to the face and ended up breaking my orbital bone and whatnot, and I couldn't fly, so I've never played against Datsuk.
You know, when I used to do games between the benches, Detroit was in one night, and so I had Datsuk, right next to me, the end of the forwards, first and third period. Mike Babcock was leaning on him. He was playing 21, 22 minutes, and I just loved looking at him right next to me and the way that he recovered between shifts. And I think I saw you had like a 3-minute shift in the second period. What do you do as a guy that logs heavy minutes to maximize your recovery from the time you get off the ice to your next shift?
It's a good question. I've never really been asked that before.
Well, I try to ask good questions, Zach.
I don't know. I think the main thing is I just try and sit down and catch my breath, right away. A few deep breaths, and then kind of once I'm more calmed down, just try and kind of relax for a second. I think when you're playing, you're kind of have everything going on mentally, physically. So I think when I get back to the bench, especially after a long shift, I just try and regroup as quick as I can. I think a lot of that's probably summer training, conditioning, and whatnot. So yeah, no, I don't really know exactly what I do, but I just feel like you take 20 seconds, and I feel like I could go again.
Yeah, I love the recovery that was so cool watching Datsuk do that between shifts. We're here in the heartland of America, the pure Midwest. Oh, this gets me excited because when I think of America, I think of somebody that loves your father, former cop, chief of police. I remember a few years ago, I was watching a military appreciation night in Columbus. Who's the guy that skates over to our great heroes, our veterans, after the anthem to tell them thank you? You. Tell me about that moment and what it means to be an American.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to say much. I feel like everyone should feel the way we do about it. I think with veterans and heroes and people that have served or are serving, they're what make this great country what it is. And I think just little gestures like that, saying thank you and and whatnot, I think it goes a long way. And I feel very strongly about it. I obviously love America, love this country, and so yeah, no, whenever I see heroes like that and people that have served, I think it's something small I can do to just say thank you, and so yeah, it's kind of why I did that.
Greatest country in the world, greatest country in the history of the world. Is there any particular experience that maybe you could share with us that, with your platform, who you are, that you've shared with one of our military heroes?
Well, I think my favorite is when we'll have heroes or people that have served come in to our locker room before games and hear their stories. Heard quite a few of them, and everyone's a little different with things they've done or seen or training or whatnot. And I'm fascinated by the stuff they do, and obviously thankful and grateful for the sacrifices they make. But I think those are always highlights to a year whenever we have nights like that or people come in and puts things into perspective.
If you had gone a different route and entered one of the heroic branches of our armed services, which one do you think it would have been?
It's a tough one. Navy SEAL.
Oh yeah.
Best of the best.
Yeah. I mean, I've been.
You guys dig in?
Oh, do they dig in? I mean, I'd like to go to San Diego there and see how long I last.
Yeah, no.
To try to get rid of this expanding gut. Yeah, they dig in. When you think about the Olympics, I have, again, the great Mark Yanis, former one-time prospects partner with Jacob Slavin on the Hurricanes. I've got you both on the United States of America. Have you given yourself even a moment to think about what it would mean to represent the United States in the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone thinks about that. I think growing up, there's two things you think about. It's playing in the NHL, winning a Stanley Cup, and then it's the Olympics for your country. I try not to get too caught up in it, especially this year. I think in years past, you kind of, honestly, I might think of it more years prior. I think this year, now that it's Olympic year, I try not to think about it. They're going to have tough decisions to make, and their job is to put the best team that they think is, can win a gold medal on the ice. And obviously, I hope I'm a part of that, but you never know. So I just want to go out there right now and play my game, and guess we'll see what happens. But to say I don't think of it would be wrong, because I do think of it. I think everyone thinks of it. So yeah, I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
You got very familiar, you have for a variety of years, but last year with the Carolina Hurricanes, as we tape this, you're going to play the Canes tomorrow. When you think about the boys up front, what comes to mind?
The Hurricanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always one of those games where you're going to have to give it your best. Just how well coached they are, their structure, and then obviously their skill and their speed and their lineup. They're built to win right now. Carolina's built to win, and I always enjoy those games. Nothing comes easy in those games, and I think that makes it more fun if you can win. Last night we had to battle one out and find a way to win, and it always feels better that way. Whenever we play Carolina, we know it's going to be a tough game. We know they're coming with line after line, a lot of skilled players, good power play, good structure. So it's going to be a good test for us, and I think as a young team and a new lineup, some new guys, I think should be exciting for us. We should embrace the challenge, and whether we win or lose, just try and play our game and play a good hockey game.
Every time over the years, I know that cannon's coming in your building, and every time I still need an adult diaper. My dear friend, there's only one way that I can think of to close, and that is, we both go back to our hometown, Pure, Michigan. We have, once again, the great Mark Yanis with us, True Michigander. I'm so proud of. I love being in Carolina, love it. Just like I'm sure you love being here in Columbus. What does it mean to be? We're Grosse Pointers and we're Pure Michiganders. What does that mean to you?
That's the best. I don't think people, realize how good Michigan is unless you get to go there. Obviously, we're both familiar with Bay Harbor and up north and Grosse Pointe. Very fortunate to grow up where I did, where you did, know the people we know, and there's nothing better than a summer in Michigan. So it's always fun when I get to go back there and spend summer and spend time there and go up north and golf and be on the water. It's got everything, so it's the best.
It's the fabric of who we are. Zach, it sounds weird to say because I'm 47. I mean, I'm just proud to call you a friend. I hope you continued success this year and take care of that shovel because you've always got it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That was fun. Good luck to you, Zach, this season. I sure think that you will be an absolutely unanimously deserving United States Olympian. And I'll see you along the way, you TRUE Michigander. Thank you to Voodoo Ranger, our presenting sponsor. Go out and do so responsibly and enjoyably. Enjoy one of their Voodoo Ranger IPAs. Bale, innovative. Sorry, I gotta do that again. Thank you, Zach. I had lofty expectations. You delivered the goods. I certainly think and expect that you will wear the red, white, and blue, you great patriot, for the United States Olympic team in Beijing. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Voodoo Ranger, Elite IPA, bold, innovative, hazy, the good kind of hazy. That's a staple, responsibly so, of digging in. And as I mentioned in the introduction to the show, I have a slowing metabolism at 47. I need an IPA that has minimal calories, just 99.9. Super number, in accordance with former dig-in guest, the great one himself. Voodoo Ranger, live rangerously. Dita.com, when it comes to the finest eyewear on planet Earth. I am wearing one of their Through the Stratosphere stylish sunglasses. I will be receiving some of their eyewear. Hurricanes fans will probably love the fact that maybe I'll finally see the game better. Dita.com. Very proud to be one of their social influencers. Until the next time, please rate and review the show. Be honest. That's how we can grow together on all audio platforms as well as YouTube. And truthfully, our merch always has some exciting new additions. We were just very proud and grateful to be able, thanks to all of you, to make a couple of donations to the Stahl Family Foundation and to the Olu All-Stars from the Stahl Bunyan lines, as well as the Aho Carpet Special and the Juice in honor of UC Jokinen. Thank you for allowing us to do that. That is what it's all about. Stay safe. Enjoy these remaining games in October. What a first month it's been in the NHL. And we'll see you soon for another episode.
We're digging in with Tripp today, yeah. Today, yeah. Today, yeah. Today.